didn't really do what I should have did for the most part sometimes.
I know you feel me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa. Girl, I know you feel me, yeah, yeah, yeah. So much to live for, too, baby. Whoa. Let's not rush into.
Hey you guys, so let's talk. If you guys are new here, hi, I'm Braelynne. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe so you guys never miss out on any of my new videos. And today's video is just going to be my Invisalign journey. I already have in my notes a few questions people might have to ask. It's a decent list. So I'm not going to talk any further. Let's just get into the video. First question I have is why? Why did I do Invisalign? So I'm going to insert some pictures on the screen of how my teeth used to look beforehand. So that's pretty much where I got them. I mean, some people would say they're not, my teeth didn't look too bad, honestly. It was just more of a preference for me. I wanted my teeth to be perfect. So it's like, yeah, people can say, okay, they look fine, but at the end of the day, it's me. So if I don't like it, then it's gonna get fixed. I feel like that pretty much answers why I did Invisalign. I didn't really like my teeth. I didn't like how they looked. I feel like they could be better. And over time, they just started to shift. The next question I have is my options, what my options were. So my options were, I could have did braces or Invisalign. I could have did either or. At first I did want to do braces, but I feel like I couldn't really do the things I wanted to do with my teeth. Like, say if I have braces, I can't really bite down into an apple. Stuff has to be chopped up. So that's one reason why I didn't go with the traditional braces route. Another reason why is because of the brackets and always having to go in for dental appointments, because I had a job and I didn't want to always have to use like vacation time or sick time to always have to leave work every month or so just to come in to see them. That's another reason why I didn't do braces. Obviously I went with the Invisalign route, and the reasons for that were because I could take out the trays as needed. I could pretty much still eat, drink, whatever, not really have to worry about it too much. Just make sure I do a good rinse and pop the trays back in. And the next question I have is, did it hurt? Yes, it did hurt, but it wasn't anything that was too unbearable. So I would say when they put they're called attachments. They look like little buttons on your teeth. Only thing that did hurt was putting my trays in after they put the attachments on. And I want to say I didn't get my attachments put on till 10th tray, because at first I'm like, oh, this is a breeze, it doesn't hurt. And then the pain came. So like I said, after they put my attachments on and then they put my Invisalign trays in, that's when the pain kicked in, because the attachments are to make them fit pretty tight. Let me make sure I'm not jumping too ahead, because I wonder if this is another question. No, the attachments is, oh, that's my next one. So yeah, it didn't hurt until I got the attachments put on and the trays got put on, and then taking the trays off for the first time after having the buttons on was a pain. It was a pain. It was a lot of pain. So I'm just going to jump into the next one. My attachments did get stained. I don't know how. Maybe when I had like some cherries or something. I know that can stain a little bit. Other than that, that's the only issue I had with the attachments, was they stained a little bit here and there depending on like what I ate. Next question is sanding, or how your teeth are shaped. So for me, I had to get the bottoms. I don't know if you guys can see. My bottoms, they had to sand in between each tooth at the bottom, just the front ones. They said my bottom row teeth, my teeth are pretty big. I feel like they honestly weren't big, but hey, that's what my orthodontist said. To make my, so this is my bottom teeth, this is my top teeth. It was more so to make my teeth go from this to like that. So they had to sand them down in between to get more space for my bite to get how my bite should be. Next one I have is elastics. So these are what my elastics look like. I have the Louis ones. There's different names for different sizes, I'm assuming, but those are the ones I had. So how I was able to put my elastics in was from in the back top row to the bottom row in the front, like my K9 here. And within the tray for those, they had like these little slits to where the elastics could loop and snag onto, so they would stay. And actually a funny story, when I first took out my elastics, I want to say I grabbed from the bottom or the top, whichever one. I grabbed from one of them, and my bottom tray went like my tray went off of my teeth and almost like down my throat, but it didn't go down. I just thought that was a funny story to throw in there because I almost choked. So yeah, that's a funny story with my elastics and taking them off. So be mindful of that. If you do get elastics, just be careful in how you take them off and be aware. My next one is Chewies. So my orthodontist did give me Chewies, and the Chewies were like these little cylinder short little white things. And what those are for is when you have your attachments put on in the trays, the Chewies are for to help the trays fit the teeth more snug. So it's kind of like equivalent to getting your braces tightened, I guess, in a way, but you have to do it throughout the day when you're not eating or drinking. And when your trays are in, you're just going to use the Chewies and pretty much go like that, bite down all around your mouth so the trays fit snug, so they're shifting your teeth pretty much. And I want to say each tray will shift your teeth about maybe like a millimeter, just so that the teeth are staying on track and they're moving. The next question I have is how long to wear. So at first I was able to wear my trays for 22 hours. Now 22 hours is when you're eating, drinking, or brushing your teeth. That's what ties into that amount of time. And people always ask, do you sleep with them in? I mean, obviously you sleep with your braces in, am I right? Because your teeth shift as you sleep. So that was another question I had got a lot, was do you sleep with them in? And the answer to that is yes. Yes, 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 yes. I mean, think about it. People wear their retainers at night. That's another way to think of it as. So yes, you do sleep with your Invisalign trays at night. And the next question I have is about lisps. So yes, I did have a lisp, and I wouldn't have them for too long, I'd say. I'd say I would only have a lisp for maybe 3 days, 3-4 days. And I would only get the lisp every time I would switch out into a new tray. So I would have my trays in all day, except when I'm not eating, drinking, or brushing my teeth. And after so long of having my trays, later on down the process, they said I only needed to wear them for 20 hours. So I had a little bit more leeway. And then next is the scan box. So the scan box, like I said, with my job, I didn't want to always be calling out of work to go to the dentist. So they gave me a scan box, and it has like these cheek retractors. And it'd be like a box, you could put your phone in there, and you have to have an app on your phone. I can't remember what the app is. I'll put it somewhere on the screen. But you have to have the app, and you put your phone in there, and it'll say to scan and how to scan. Like, so you'll scan from left to right, smiling with the cheek retractors in. And then the next one, they'd have you do like an open scan, so your mouth would be open like, and you'd scan like that so they can see how your bite is. I scanned mine every 2 weeks because that's how often I would need to change my trays out. I know some people are every week, every 3 weeks, but for me it was every 2 weeks. That's when I would scan, and they'll say, okay, you're good to go, move into the next tray, or use your Chewies more. Make sure you're using those as much as you can. Have your trays in for an adequate amount of time. And then my next question is eating and drinks. So I didn't really do what I should have did for the most part sometimes. But they say you can have like sugar-free gum. Try not to drink any dark liquids, stuff like that. But I did drink alcohol, which is pretty sugary. And sometimes there's like dark alcohol, but for the most part I would get away with like drinking tequila because it's clear like water. Just make sure you do like a good rinse. Eating wise, like food, there weren't really any restrictions, but they said you could chew gum with the trays in, which sounds pretty crazy in my opinion, but it'd have to be sugar-free gum. But I didn't risk that at all because I didn't want sugar-free gum still sticking to my trays. And another thing with eating and drinking is you will lose a little bit of weight when you do Invisalign. I'm not gonna lie, I personally don't feel like I did because I was already pretty much on the smaller side. I didn't really weigh myself too much. Some people complain about the pain in their teeth, that they don't really eat that much. They'll go to like a soft food diet for the most part, or they just don't really eat as much, because anytime you do eat, you have to take your trays out, of course, and you have to brush or do a good rinsing, and some people don't want to go through that hassle, so they just don't really eat as much, unfortunately. But there aren't really many food restrictions. It's just always having to take them out, brush, floss, all that good stuff. Next is progress. So I actually had my Invisalign, well, I started in April of 2021, and then I didn't finish till October of 2022. So within that time frame, that's when I finished. And progress, I want to say I started seeing progress probably in, I started in April, I want to say like in the summer, like August or so. That's when I started to see, I have screenshots, but that's when I feel like I started to see more of a change, because I did have a gap, and I noticed my gap was starting to shrink in size. So I was really excited about that, because that was my main problem area, was me having a gap. I didn't really care for it, and I was so happy once I finally got to see results from the gap closing. Pros and cons. Pros would be, I mean, you get to get your teeth straightened and pretty much still eat whatever you want. No food restrictions. You can still bite into stuff head on. I didn't have any problems with me losing any buttons, because they're kind of, I don't say they're kind of like tooth enamel, but they really resemble like your teeth, just like some weird stuff on it. But it's not too noticeable unless someone's like really looking. Sometimes I can see when people are doing Invisalign, and we'll have like a little chit chat about it. The pro would be still being able, like I said, to eat whatever you want. Just make sure you rinse, do a little brushing. I wouldn't really say there's too many cons. I mean, you can still really eat. It's honestly to each their own. You just gotta pick what you want to do to get your teeth straightened for the most part. So, but I was really happy in my decision with Invisalign instead of traditional braces. And another pro is you can kind of like semi-whiten your teeth. I mean, you can get like a whitening toothpaste, but I wouldn't actually like recommend to like do like a teeth whitening treatment, because that'd be kind of, I don't know how that would turn out, but I don't think it'd be the best thing to do, honestly, in my opinion. And another pro is when you have the traditional braces, you can't really whiten your teeth, because if you do, you'll have those little bracket marks of when you do get them taken off, and like it'll be white around the bracket, and the bracket will be kind of not the whitest. So price range, honestly, I feel like it just depends on how bad your teeth are, or where you're going, like how much needs done. But mine didn't really cost too much. It was a few $1,000s. So I probably should be smiling a lot more, and no, insurance did not cover it. Some people, their insurance will cover it, depending on like if it's like a health issue or something in that matter. But for me, it was just pretty much it was a cosmetic thing. So that's why my insurance didn't cover it, because it was more so for looks for me. And then retainers. So I actually have mine right here. I keep mine in this red case so I don't lose them. I've actually gone through quite a few of the Invisalign trays where you keep them in, and those are like circular. I've had a white one, I've had a black one. They gave me an orange one for Halloween, but now I just keep mine in this, and it's pretty spacious. Here's my bottom ones, and I really wanted a Holly retainer. It may sound weird, but I just like how it looks, like a bar just going across the teeth. So let me actually put them in. So here's the bottom one, and then here's the top ones. So I do have a little bit of a lisp when I have them in, and this is what they look like in. That's what they look like in. I'm going to take these out. But yeah, so these are what I keep my retainers in. They say you should wear them at least like 3 to 4 times a week. I don't do that. But I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to do better. Retainers I have like these extra plastics on them. And my first retainers didn't have them. But my dog, she chewed up my retainers within me not even having them for a month. So yeah, that was great. But it has like this extra plastic on it right here. And it didn't really bother me too much. I thought it was like an issue, but they had to like rush and make these, so it had the extra plastic on them. But just imagine just retainers without the extra plastic, just the teeth area. Those are my retainers, and these are my teeth now. So I really like how they came out. I don't really have any complaints. My teeth are still straight. Those are, I think I answered everything. Yeah, I'm gonna say I answered everything. But I really wanted the Holly retainer because of the bar, so just aesthetics in my opinion. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys have any questions or if you're going to be starting Invisalign. I do recommend it for anyone to get. It's a good alternative instead of getting the traditional braces route. It's more leeway. So let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, and I will see you guys in the next video. And make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.